my friend Adrian and I were at here in Manhattan.
Hi.
Hey, there you go.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. So, my sister's online, so I have to let her know. I'm not sure if she knows. She knows about you, but I'm not sure if she knows that Marita, she's a Gemini too. She groans. My baby sister's a Taurus. And so when I always tell her, guess who else is a Gemini? So she just gets.
Yeah, well, before we start, I just want to tell everybody that it was such a pleasure and delight to meet you in person when I was in New York a couple of weeks ago. It was such a beautiful time we spent together. I had so much fun, laughter and everything. Very good. Thank you so much again for everything. It was beautiful.
No, it was fun.
I'm so happy
to meet your husband and Zavonimir and your friend Daniel and your son. I don't mention children's names, but your son is he's such a smart young man. And then at the end, at first he would, how little boys are. He would look at me, stay close to his mother. He's the Klingon stage. And at the very end, everyone, remember he gave me that hug? Maybe he hugged at the end. He hugged my butt. Oh, it was so sweet. He's like, oh, I like you. She's okay. Children check you out. I love how children. He said, no, I don't know about her yet. Let me have dinner. Let me have lunch with her. Check her out.
Which is, I'm actually happy that you mentioned this, because this is actually relevant to what we're going to talk about today, because my son's moon is in Scorpio and we have the upcoming new moon in Scorpio. So they are very skeptical before
they are.
So
they're very show me state. Like I see you. Okay. I know your name. You know my name. But that's about it. And he had nothing to do with me until the very end. And all through the lunch, we had a lovely brunch together.
Yeah.
And he would look at me. He would listen, but he made sure. Let me see how mommy. He checked his father.
Yeah.
He checked his friend Daniel. And the very end, I'm talking to you. He came over to me and hugged me, and I had all I could do to cry. It was so he was like, I like you, lady.
Yeah, you passed the test. You passed the Scorpio test.
See, that's what he's saying. It's like, okay, you can come to Canada, I can come visit. And when children do that and animals do that, it's a lot to me, because they know they're the pure heart. They're saying, you know what? Let me check you out first before you get to. Yes.
But your kindness and generosity, just the way you light up the energy, it was really not a hard task for him, to be honest. So who would like you? It was really, it was such a beautiful beautiful brunch. Yeah.
I wonder it was just how it all worked out. So those of you who don't know, so Jasmina told me a good month or so, 6 weeks ago, she said, I'm coming to New York with my husband and son to visit a friend of the family and hope we can get together for a cup of coffee, maybe a brunch. I said, yeah, sure, let me know. I'll keep that weekend open. That was the weekend of, in the United States, it's the weekend we celebrate formerly Columbus Day, currently Indigenous Peoples Day. So I said, sure. So she let me know, and I found a place near Columbia University, which is a nice restaurant. And then I was outside of the restaurant near me, and my neighbor said, hey, you can hang out a little bit more because Monday is a national holiday. And then I said, oh, wait a minute. I know the restaurant Fumo that I like to go to. If they have a national holiday on a Monday, they open for brunch. And their brunch is good.
It was excellent food.
Very, very reasonably priced as far as, the other restaurant, the first one I recommended, was nice, good quality food, but a little bit more expensive and horrible coffee. A lot more expensive, actually. But I just didn't want to be close. I wanted to be close to your friend. So I called up Fumo and I said, "Oh, you guys open for Monday? You serving brunch?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, I need a table," and we had the best time and good food.
No, it was good food. Everything was really. It was a cherry on top for the end of our trip back home. That's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah.
And then you did right by me, because people who know me, as my sister knows, and friends who know me, when you're traveling, I need to know that you're home, not just home. You reached your country or your state or your town. You let me know that you are home in your house, so I can actually sleep and know that you're safe. You know what I mean? So I saw you. I didn't respond to you, but I said, "Oh, okay," because I was sort of like listening in. Is she home? Are they home? Did they make it?
It took us a little bit longer, You have to go. We have a kid. You have to stop for bathroom stops, but it was really good. It was nice weather, very beautiful. the fall, as you mentioned today in your live, the fall in this this
Our
upper
area
state New
is
York and Canada, it's so
gorgeous.
beautiful.
It is
It's
beautiful.
just, having a road trip with all these colors, it's just
It
amazing.
is
So,
amazing.
yeah, yeah.
So now, Jasmine, I'm going to ask. You'll be doing the bulk of this because this is such a powerful time, and
Okay.
you have the handle on this. So I'll
Okay.
ask certain questions. I'll make certain comments, but I want you to bring forth the information
Yes,
that
I
we need
will.
to hear.
I
Okay.
will. So for everybody, we have intense next couple of weeks for sure with this new moon on November 1st. It's going to be at 9 degrees, 35 minutes of Scorpio, and it's going to be November 1st, 8:47 a.m. Eastern Time. So early in the morning on Friday. And why is this new moon so intense, so powerful? First of all, Scorpio, we need to understand what Scorpio is. Scorpio, yeah. So the whole new moon is very fixed energy. So the whole, all the planets are very fixed in the sky at the moment of the new moon. So that means there's no budging. When fixed energy, it's like, it's my way or highway, and so you have to.
What planets? You talking
So,
about what planets?
so in general, so we have
Pluto. Well, what's Pluto's?
no, I'm saying it's not all the planets, but the energy is very fixed when you calculate all the stuff. So it's very fixed energy, and it's lacking air and fire currently. Okay, so it's a lot of water and earth kind of energy. Air and fire give us a little bit of spark, a little bit of lightness, a little bit of perspective, a little bit of perspective.
Right. Yeah.
But this will be, we kind of won't have the perspective, okay? And I'll go into detail. First of all, I want everybody to understand what Scorpio is. Good. Scorpio is very intense sign.
Sure. Hard water.
It's very deep. So it's the sign that doesn't escape from the taboos, from the shadows, from the fears. It's embracing that. So with this new moon in Scorpio, we can have some fears and shadows coming up into our to surface, and just we might think about it, and it can be very intense, traumas and crises. But Scorpio is very good with dealing with those. Okay, so it's like no problem, so think about that. Trust issues. So as I mentioned in the beginning, very skeptical sign.
Trust.
Yeah.
Trust issues. Yes.
He had, like Scorpios, if you betray them, you're dead to them.
Yes.
It can be vindictive, right? It can be vindictive, jealous, possessive, on the negative side, right? Obsessive with something. On the positive side, it's deep psychological insights, very intuitive. It goes to the places where nobody wants to go. It taps to those places, which needs boldness. That's why Mars is a traditional ruler of Scorpio, because you need some kind of boldness and courage to go some places that no one wants to cross, because they're too dark and too. Okay. Oh, somebody says something. My midheaven, 9 Taurus. So I see 9 Scorpio. See, that's very personal for you. So this new moon it's about especially about your home and roots and where you're coming from. So topics of that sense might be highlighted. And I will tell you in more detail what else is coming.
Question.
Okay, sure.
Scorpio has a what I call, depending on your astrology, there are modern rulers and there are classical rulers. So the classical ruler of Scorpio is Mars.
And the modern ruler is Pluto.
Thank you.
And now what's happening here? At the moment of this new moon, we have Pluto and Mars opposing each other almost exactly. So it's going to be exact. It's going to be exact couple of days later, just before the election in the U.S. So that's why this. So imagine, so you're having Mars is about war and violence usually, and fighting, and but it's also aggression, and then you have Pluto who wants to destroy, transform. So you have this energy, and it's ruling this. Both of them are ruling this moon. So this energy is very explosive. This energy can be very volatile.
Yeah, and Pluto also speaks to the, I'm not sure, this is something else, I forgot who I was watching. It must have been Pam Gregory. That Pluto also encompasses the, how can I say it? I would say the less than divine male. In other words, it's the energy that doesn't want the female to rise. So we have Mars's sister, Aries, is involved.
Yes.
And she's saying, no, all that nonsense that's been going on is not moving forward. So there's a push-pull, and there's a battle royale that's happening now.
Very much. And the thing is, it can be, because it's very, and I said it's a fixed energy. It's in the air. So although the Mars and Pluto are in cardinal signs are initiators. They're just doers, right?
Yes,
so they like to do. Think about Aries. They do before they think. You know.
Yes.
Even Cancer, he does. And think about Mars is in Cancer right now. Very protective of their family and home and homeland, very patriotic Mars. So somebody's touching my land or something that, you know, where I come from, I'm going to fight for it.
Got it.
And Pluto, so Pluto, it can be very abusive. Like in people who have Mars Pluto hard aspects in the chart, it can be lots of abuse and trauma and crises. It can be very, very hard. Like things that we don't even want to talk about. Very scorpionic, you know, those things that we don't really want to talk about it.
Right.
So in general, this new moon, so we usually use new moons to set intentions for something positive, something that we can put our seeds to create something new, right?
Yes.
So instead of, because this energy can be really like destroy everything, and then it can be very traumatic and very hard, psychologically hard as well, right? So think about how can we use this in a positive way? What can we transform in our lives?
Yes.
What can we, not literally but figuratively, put to rest and build something new?
Yeah.
We might are going to, it's like building on ashes at this point. This new moon kind of feels to me that we are going to build on ashes.
I like that, Jasmine. Building on ashes. Yes, because that's something, and that speaks very to Plutonic energy. Is very crash and burn, and the phoenix arises. So we have to actually end and burn out things in order to actually sometimes realize allow space for the new. It's like a construction of a new place in your home or whatever. You have to sort of take it down to the core, to the stone,
everything,
to the
foundation. Everything.
Oh, I like that. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's rough.
There's more.
It's rough.
Yeah, I know, but there's more. There's not just Mars Pluto. There's more. But I'm talking about them because they're kind of ruling this new moon. They're the driver. So think about, you have this new seed. You want to create something from the depths of your, you want to transform your fears into something constructive. But then these two are just maybe not willing. So you have to kind of put your intentions to create something, to transform some part of your life in a positive way, something that is maybe something that you're afraid to face. Now it's time to face it. And the most effect, this new moon will affect mostly the people who have especially personal planets or angles, ascendant, midheaven, IC or DC, between 6 and 12 degrees of fixed signs, which are Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus. Okay, so those people will be most affected.
Okay, so say that again slowly. So those most affected would be those with fixed
placements, and especially personal planets like Sun, Moon, Ascendant, the most, and then also Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Or other angles, midheaven, IC or DC. You have the angles of the chart, so all the angles.
The clock face, yes.
Yeah. In fixed signs, which are Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio.
Okay.
Those will be the most affected. Okay.
Within 6 to 12 degrees.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We also have.
Now, when you say affected, when you say affected, that means that the energies that are coming that will be on
may
planet.
trigger may trigger them more because it's personal. So they might see some things happening, not maybe right now, but affects, you know, how we have this new moon until the full moon, but then also, you know, it can be until the other new moon. Or if you look at the lunar family, you know how we have a lunar phase family for 27 months for longer projects in our lives.
Yeah.
So this new moon the first quarter will be August 1st, 2025, also 9 degrees Scorpio. So that's going to be call to action if you're so maybe some things might occur at that time, something that was seeded now, maybe you're not aware, and then something comes up, and then you're going to go, you know, next year in August when the first quarter comes up, you're going to say, oh, this is what happened, you know, November 1st or around November, right?
I see.
Then we're going to have the full moon for this family, lunar family, on May 1st, 2026 at 11 degrees Scorpio. And then third quarter finalized is going to be 29th of January 2027, again at 9 degrees Scorpio. So those are the bigger lunar families, bigger life cycles that, you know, that something might happen. So people who have personal planets now, this is going to be very important for the 27, you know, months ahead. People who don't have, they might not even feel these other, you know, things. But, you know, if you have something between, this might have longer effects up to 27 months, depending on what is happening, what is hitting you, right?
Yeah.
What I want to mention.
Can you give us a little bit of the some examples of some of the effects? I know we can't pinpoint because everyone's chart is so unique, like their signature, but just some general things to be looking out for as far as, and will we be feeling more energetically? Will we be feeling more aggressive?
We will. For this new moon, we definitely will. But then if you think longer cycles, think about scorpionic topics. So this might also reveal some family secrets. Pluto, Scorpio is about secrets, hidden things coming up to the surface.
Okay, got it.
It can be about, you know, some traumas and crises coming up, you know, or some psychological insights. It may give you some strength, you know, if you start maybe, you know, it can give you, but with traumas, it's very hard because they're very, you know, actually, it doesn't, you don't have a magic wand with them. So, but think about all the scorpionic things, you know, something because Scorpios like to research things. So maybe you want to mix up, maybe you need some kind of project that you want to research something in the next 27 months, you know, think about digging deep, not just superficially, but really, you know, when you study something and go to the, you know, to the end, or in a positive way, maybe, you know, because Mars is in Cancer, it's about our families, maybe family secrets are going to come up, right? The other thing that it's very important is that Mercury in the sky is almost at the last degree of Scorpio at the time of the new moon. It's 28 degrees, and it's going to oppose Uranus. So Mercury-Uranus opposition, it's about shocking news. So think about, so we have like, it can be shocking news, it can be some unexpected things. Also, we might experience something unexpected in transportation, in our communication, some changes, some disruptions, and stuff like that. So think about, so now that it's Scorpio. So there may be some shocking news. Maybe some secrets will come up. Maybe you'll hear something. You know, there's, you know,
Uranus is still in Taurus right now.
It's still in Taurus. Yeah, it's going to be in Taurus until July next year because it's going retrograde now and it's going to go back. So that's a component. Another component of this, of this new moon is Venus is opposing Jupiter. So we have three oppositions. Oppositions are hard because you need to find the middle ground. They're always, you know, it's a tug of war. They're pushing on one side. So first one, we have Mars pushing on one, Pluto on the other. Then we have Uranus on one side, Mercury on the other. And then we have Jupiter and Venus also opposing. But Jupiter and Venus are, you know, we call them good planets. They're kind of benefic. And because they are in Gemini and Sagittarius, it's a mental axis. So it can actually maybe give us some kind of mental ease. We might find some way of processing this information, okay? Somehow that we hear, that we experience. I think that might give us some kind of an ease.
I love that phrase, the
because
mental access.
yes,
The mental access to assimilate the information that's coming in.
yeah, because they're in
Tremendous.
Gemini and Sagittarius. So Gemini and Sagittarius, we call it we call it a mental axis because they're all about mental activity, about our knowledge, our the information we gather. Especially, think about Jupiter in Gemini. It's about a lot. So
Yes. Yes.
Jupiter and Gemini, there's a lot of fake news, a lot of information going on. So
Yes.
think about maybe this new moon will reveal some of those, what is fake, what is true. Because
Absolutely.
Scorpio is a true fighter for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio really likes true. If, as I mentioned in the beginning, if you betray Scorpio, forget it. So there's
Yes.
there's a value of truth in
Yeah.
Scorpio, which
Yeah.
is very strong.
So a lot of
And
revelations.
Scorpio,
So we can expect some revelations to come up in.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Things,
Yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
Pluto. So things that are hidden, previously hidden, and underground,
yes.
sub rosa, things will come up because Okay.
So there's a lot of things here. I also want to mention Juno. Juno is an asteroid. Yeah, so Juno, she's at 29 degrees of Libra at the moment. So she's also cardinal. And asteroid Juno is about long-term committed relationships. So
right, marriage and so on.
yeah, but it's about being loyal and committed no matter what.
I see.
And she's in Libra, last degree of Libra. So the problem that I see here is because Mars is in Cancer, 29 degrees. Pluto is at 29 degrees of Capricorn, and Juno is at 29 degrees of Libra. They're all in energetic degrees. 29 degree is the powerful degree. We call it energetic degree.
Yes.
And they're making a T square. So imagine this is opposition between Mars and Pluto, and Juno is on top here. So it's like three squares, the opposition and two squares, right? Opposition and two squares. And apex is of this Juno. So I'm feeling, because Juno represents alliances and partnerships, we might hear or see some alliances breaking up, or especially on a mundane level.
On a mundane, so the world level.
I feel that
individual
that may happen.
So on, yes.
In individual level, if things are not aligned, marriages could break up now as well.
Okay.
Just because Juno is in a sign of marriage in Libra at the last degree, and we have these two, and everything it's very cardinal energy. So I think all three planets will want to put want to be first and they're doers. They want to do their thing. So I might feel that maybe this Juno, I don't know, there might be some kind of hidden news coming up and then breaking off alliances or relationship or partnerships, personal level, or anyway. That's my feeling about that.
No, that's a good point. I think it's something for us to be aware of, that we all have experiences with or assumptions of long-term commitments on a mundane level, or even some quasi-personal levels that have been, they'll be together forever, whether it's alliances with companies, countries, or whatever. And now what we're not seeing, but we may see because of these transits, that we'll see that they're not in alignment, and that there is a schism, a breaking off of loyalties, if you will.
I just heard the other day, about the actor Jack Hoffman, the werewolf, Jack Hoffman, what is it? He had this wife for a long time. She was older than him. They were like the best couple of the Hollywood. They're separated for a while, but now they're definitely getting a divorce. He has another woman, blah blah blah. So those kind of things.
Wow.
After
you talking about the one who played that
werewolf.
Character where he had the
werewolf.
Yes.
Jack, what is it? Hugh Jackman, not Jack Huffman. Look at me, Jack.
Yeah, because he had a wife who was because he had a wife who was a lot older.
Yes.
I know they had. I met him. I got a picture with him. Lovely man, but recently they had a little separation, and I said, "Oh, this is not gonna." I can sense. I saw the photo. This is not coming back together. That he
but now, so now we just heard that and that she's with that actress that was in the show Younger, and she left her husband for him. So they're both. So this is those kind of things. Because when
Okay.
Pluto and Mars are coming, since it's hidden, so it just came up the other day
Yes.
about the relationship. So I'm just saying those kind of things in personal lives can also happen. I wish everybody the best, but be
Yeah.
prepared for
Yeah.
I have good news because we have to have
Yeah.
good news. We have a grand trine and kite actually. So there's Mercury, Mars, and Neptune grand trine in water. Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. So that's actually it's going to give some ease. That's what I feel. Although Neptune is involved, and with Neptune you never know. You know,
No.
things might be, it could be like it might. We might go into our fantasy world because
Yeah.
Mercury and
Neptune.
Mars are
Yes.
involved,
Yes.
and maybe we don't want to accept the truth that comes up, and we're going to be in denial maybe,
Yes.
which might help us go through this tension, right? So
Mhm.
maybe this denial and escaping from the truth.
Escapism. Yeah, we just sort of retreat
Yeah,
into
yeah.
our happy spaces, and yeah, I gotcha.
It might help us. I'm saying just as a transition, it might, but the reality will kick in sooner or later. But maybe just during this new moon, just be aware that whatever your intentions are, you're setting, uh, make it real because you might just, go beyond just
Mm-hmm.
to escape from the harsh reality, and
Yeah,
there's also
Neptune's a very diffusive. It's for
yes,
those of us who have diffusers in our
yes,
with essential oils. I was taught by Christopher Renstrom. If you're looking at a chart and there's a planet here, and I don't care what planet, and you have Neptune nearby, Neptune will, by its placement, diffuse
yeah,
the energy,
and
sort of
dissolve,
lessen
and
and sort
dissolve.
of like dissolve. This dissolver, yes. And so while that
Yeah,
can be, like you said, a softener, but it also
yeah.
can be something that we're not seeing the truth. But for a limited amount of time, it's okay to have that escape to from reality.
Yes,
But
I
we can't.
think yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because this is going to be very like lots of things are going to happen, very intense, very and
Ah.
then you might just go and say, okay, I'm just going to go with my Neptune and in my fantasy
Yes.
just for
Yeah.
a while until
Yes.
until
Yes.
everything calms down, and then I'm going to think it through. As long as it's a healthy way, as long as it's
Yes.
not as long as you are aware kind of that you're going to have to deal with it later,
Yes.
it's fine
Yeah.
just to go through this hard couple of days because it's going to be very intense. And the full moon that it's coming, and I think we should do another live for the full moon in a
Oh,
couple
for
of weeks
sure.
because
Absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
going to be also very, very, very intense as well. Uh, anyway, so that's my take on this. What else did I want to say?
Now, I want to ask a question before you move
Yes,
on,
please.
because I
Yeah,
want to get a sort of, I
yeah,
want to sort of summarize. So, what we
yes,
just discussed, these energies perhaps are um, contributing to or helping us to detach, I think, to see our current reality, and also perhaps with the water. You mentioned this grand trine of water.
yeah.
Water, of course, is the emotional body, but also water can wash away. It can marinate and soften things, so they can then we can release them more easily
Yes.
and
But think
move.
about,
Go
but
ahead.
think about Scorpio is fixed water.
It's
Think
fixed water.
about,
It's hard
think,
water,
think
as Christopher would say. Yeah.
yeah, but think about the pond, and when that it's still water in the pond. That's
Right.
Scorpio. So
Gotcha.
that water is not running. It's not
No, it isn't.
waterfall.
It isn't. It's sort of pooled.
Okay,
It's pooled. Yeah.
and it's muddy, and it's you remember where toads and frogs jump on that. That's the water that I'm thinking. It's still
Mm.
dark water that doesn't move. That's Scorpio.
Yeah.
A Pisces is more of a river, right?
Right.
And
Yes.
Cancer is more of an
Yes.
ocean.
Yes.
But this is like a swamp. That's the word I was
However, though,
looking.
the
Yeah.
lotus flower grows in
Yes.
muddy, swampy water.
Yeah. Yes.
So
That's a
sometimes
good
we have
point.
to, if we actually don't get lost in our Neptune, in our reverie, in our dream state, which I'm speaking to myself here, but then we can actually realize, okay, let's go ahead and grow that flower, but we have to grow a flower of a higher octave to move
Beautiful.
out of
Beautiful.
where we were, And nothing wrong with using a softener. I call it a softener. People use a lot of things as softeners. Alcohol for soften, things to soften the blow. The harshness of things. So, and then realize though we need to focus our energies though, leaving the past and staying in the flow and releasing and surrendering, so we can let the lotus flower above the surface of that pond be that beautiful lotus flower. Beneath it's muddy water, whatever, but it's showing that we can thrive and grow above and
excellent. That's so beautiful. This, I couldn't say it better. Like, this is so beautiful, guys. So think about it. Even it's going to be hard if you feel that you are, stuck in the mud or in that. But then from that, you can still produce a beautiful flower.
Yes. And that's what we have to face right now, I think, because of all the change that we see, the massive change all over the whole world, that we have to remember that, okay, that change involves challenge and involves discomfort and dis-ease, we're not ill at ease and pain and whatever, but from that, we could grow that beautiful flower for the future. And putting our focus, I was having dinner with some friends, some acquaintances, I didn't really know them that well, and I had to a few times remind the young lady to think about, yes, we can analyze the past and things that we haven't done right as a country, as a people, blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. We should know that and understand that. But put more of our energy and our intention in what we want to see and build for the future. That's what we need to focus on.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say don't wipe away the past that didn't happen. No, analyze it, see it, and say, got it. That's our base. That's our foundation. But then use it as a springboard to the future. So I see that. Okay, so now I just want to have
I'm thinking, how can you build, like this, what we started on, how can you build something beautiful from using the darkest parts of you, like facing the darkest parts of you and your fears, and facing them, and by facing them, you kind of become a winner and create something beautiful out of it. So that's kind of, I know it's not easy. So this is not easy. No. Like, I'm not going to say like, oh yeah, that's why the Scorpio's moons are always hard, because they are facing, they are inviting us to face the parts of us that we don't want to face usually, right?
And that explains why I think it's so funny, because people don't know, but Jasmine sent me a note the other day saying, we should do a new moon thing in Scorpio. And I was like, I can't believe I didn't see this, but I know why I didn't see it, because Scorpio moons are tough moons. And I think that was
your Neptune. Your Neptune said like,
forget that. So she said, let's do it Sunday. I was like, okay, let's do it. Because, again, I was trying to not deal with it. And Scorpio's saying, no, sister, you will deal with this water. You know what I mean? No, tell Neptune to shishabon. Shishabon. You know what I mean?
On that point, I'm going to go quickly. And it's going to go quickly through all 12 rising signs, just one word for each, just for people to get to have an understanding what's happening, okay?
Excellent. Not too quick, though. Slow down. We got time. Slow down. People listen.
Okay. Okay. Just because I want to give like one positive, one negative, what can you expect? Because, facing reality, yes, but let's give some hope as well.
Yes.
I'm an optimistic astrologer. That's how they call me.
You very much are.
Yes. I'm always trying to. So this is in general, guys. Okay. It's not easy. It can be explosive, volatile.
This applies to our sun, rising, and moon?
Yes, I always, first I would always look at your rising. So when I say for Aries, that we think about Aries rising, because that's going to be kind of in which house is going to happen. And then we're going to go around the zodiac. So think about, but if you have sun or moon in that, it can also, be very, you can relate to it. Like you'll see, but mostly for rising signs, okay? So for Aries risings, this new moon is happening in their 8th house, because it's they have the normal zodiacal order. So 8th house. So I think for Aries risings, this will be a little bit challenging.
It will be,
because 8th house is about everything Scorpion that we talked about. So they are going to face something in it can, some kind of fears or traumas or something they don't really want to face.
It could be the sex, death, and rock and roll house. Yeah. Okay.
On a positive side, let's see what if eighth house can give you psychological insights, yes. Like a deeper understanding
right.
of yourself and others.
Yeah.
In a more practical world, eighth house is about it's about everything. Like it's second house is about our assets, our money, and the opposite eighth house it's about other people's money and other assets on how can we help ourselves with help of other money. So for example, it's about mortgage. So it is your house, but you have a mortgage, which is on the opposite side because you borrowed money, right, to buy a house, to buy an asset. It can be about investments. So maybe you want to think about how can you invest your money, but be very careful. Mercury is opposing Uranus. I wouldn't suggest you guys invest on this new moon, not particularly, but think about how can maybe you want to, where you want to put your money in. It's about getting scholarships or grants, or it's about tax refunds. Maybe there's something coming up. It can be in a positive way. Sure. Also, it can be, all of that can be in a negative way. You can get a letter from IRS or CRA, wherever you live, and you owe taxes, or it could be something like that. So because it's a lot of this energy that can so think about it's about your part.
It's the second eighth house kind of.
Thing, yes.
Okay.
But the intention should be around eighth house. So what do you do? It's about your husband's, your partner's money, or money from your clients, money that's coming from the seventh house. So maybe there's going to be some issues if you have client money from clients. Maybe there's going to be some fight about it. Maybe they didn't pay you. Maybe
is that the house of inheritance also? Inheritance?
Yes. Also about inheritance. Maybe there's some fights about inheritance. So think about try to approach everything with a cool head with this new moon.
So true.
Because
so true. Yes.
Our emotions, because this is somebody that touches something very deep in you. You're gonna react with yes. Mars in Cancer. You're very protective. Yes. Don't touch mine. Don't touch my feelings.
Cancer would be very protective. Yes.
And it's the last degree. Oh. So think about it. So it's going to be very strong, very yes. powerful that way. So we might act upon our emotions.
Right.
And think about the ruler. So now. There's a mutual reception between the moon and Mars, right? Because Mars rules Scorpio and moon rules Cancer. So there's that's a good thing, okay? But on the other hand, there's this intensity and there's this urge to protect, and so it's like it can be revengeful. Scorpio can be, there's revenge. There's,
Scorpio gets paid. Scorpio believes in payback. It believes in being paid back or payback.
Yeah. Absolutely. So if you have any issues with inheritance or government, yes. Pluto is in Capricorn is government, so there might some issues with government come up or something. So try to stay cool head, don't react right away, sleep it over, you take some time. Yeah. So that's good for Aries.
Secure, and this is when you reach out and get help, get assistance, get
yes.
someone who can help you
yes.
navigate these challenging waters, if you will.
Yeah.
So you'll get that letter or get that notice or that information and be like, oh, you get crazy. Been there.
Yeah.
And then you realize, okay, let me just, what? I'm still alive. Let me just seek counsel, seek someone who can help me, and we'll face this and you'll get through it. Yeah.
If you want to set intentions, think about how can you, maybe you want to get a credit line or something for your business or, something. So, but just think about positive things maybe that you, that's for Aries rises. Oh, hi guys. There's everybody who's saying hi.
Hi, Adrian. Okay, and there's Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Okay.
So for Taurus risings, right. This is happening in the seventh house of partnerships, relationships, clients. It's also about legal affairs. I think most people think it's a ninth house. Ninth house is about courts and justice, but legal affairs and one-on-one things is seventh house. So there might be some things coming up. some legal issues, some partner issues. So if you want to, if you're single, you want to set intentions, what kind of partner you want, or maybe so just try to use this energy in a positive way as much as you can. I do feel that, if somebody provokes you,
right.
somebody in one-on-one communication, as I mentioned, Mercury and Uranus are going to be opposing each other. It could be a lot of nervous energy with that. Mercury and Uranus, both of them are your nervous system is highlighted.
It's wired, really buzzy.
Very
buzzy.
wired. So we're going to be very nervous,
yes.
very buzzy with all these intense
anxiety.
emotions.
Yep.
So you put combination of anxiety and anxiousness, and
yes.
so and then you talk to and your partner tells you something. So we that know astrology, we need to make sure that we are the ones who use it well and show by example.
Yeah.
Okay, don't get involved. I know we're all humans, but people who don't know, and you're gonna see in traffic.
Yeah.
You're gonna see people in traffic going crazy. People here, people in the grocery stores. Have that in mind, that it's energy for everybody.
Yeah.
That it's very, and then be mindful.
Right. I try to remind people to do the 1, 2, 3 thing. In other words, the situation happens. Someone talks to you a certain way, or your partner or your job colleagues or someone triggers you.
Yeah.
Do the 1, 2, 3. In other words, think about it, receive it, digest it, understand it, breathe, and then respond. Not the trigger, because I'll do that little kickstand response, and it's brutal. If I respond with that, it's like a shiv.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just sort of like, and certain phrases I would tell people in corporate America say, that's interesting, or say that again. Ask them to repeat that statement. It gives you time, to react. Time to react. Go ahead.
Also, what I noticed, which is very useful, I don't use it very often because I too fast sometimes, but it's very useful if you can just do that.
Yes.
If you to confirm what you think you heard, ask the person, did you say this and this?
Yes.
And then that person will say, no, I didn't say it, because
so tell me what you said, and then have them repeat it.
Yeah. Or just say, oh, I heard you said this. And then they will say, oh, I didn't say it. Like, just say, oh, this is what I heard. Is that what you meant?
So tell me, tell me what's your statement? What's your question again? Make them restate it. Yes.
Yes. Like, this is what I heard. Is that what you meant?
Yeah. Because I'm trying to save your life. I'm trying to save your life here. Okay.
Yeah.
You're trying to save your job and trying to save your. You don't want to have to do an apology tour later on, the redemption tour. So just sort of say, I want to be clear. Is this what you meant? So what did you mean by that?
Yeah.
Make them work for it. Make them work for it.
But the thing is, because we are assuming a bunch of stuff, because we're going from our perspective, and then we hear something completely different. That person didn't even, because. So if it's very sensitive, redo the conversation. It's worth it, guys. Trust me.
Someone said too late. It's too late for me. No, it's not too late. But sometimes that's what she and I have this thing about. I used to always tell her that I'm trying to stay out of the news because I don't want to be because I've had to learn to. I'm making the headline. I'm gonna be in the late, either the 7 o'clock news or the 11 o'clock news. But I have to learn how to say, And there's a funny skit. I have to say this just briefly. On Saturday Night Live, this comedian called Nate Bargatze, and he plays George Washington, and he's talking to this character who I can't remember his name, Keenan. I can't remember Keenan's last name. And Keenan keeps on asking about the situation of how is this going to be for George Washington? How will this be for men of color? And because Nate can't, as George Washington can't say anything positive, he just goes, It's funny because he's not answering, but he's just sort of like exhaling because he doesn't have an answer. If you have to actually,
it's a nonverbal. It's a nonverbal answer.
Yes, but to me, it's sort of like I'm laughing at it, but I'm realizing that actually is a very good filler. So you're just going, that's interesting. Oh, you don't say that's interesting because it's probably not interesting, but just sort of, sometimes because you're letting out air before you say anything. but your mind is registering that we actually responded. So your mind says, oh, we did respond. But meanwhile, you didn't get yourself in any trouble, any excess situations, which we don't want to right now. This energy being so volatile, you don't want to have to do, like I said, the apology tour, the redemption tour. Try not to have to do those if you don't have to.
And don't forget, as you mentioned at the beginning, secrets, hidden news, shocking news. So for Taurus risings, also shocking hidden news from the partners or clients or anyway, just be prepared.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
For Geminis,
for us.
Geminis, for Geminis, what am I? For Gemini rising, yes, it's in the 6th house. So it's about so 6th house is about health, work, your everyday life, how you do it. So maybe some changes are needed. Maybe some drastic changes, like you want to maybe completely change your diet. Maybe you want to completely change, get rid of some bad habit and implement a new one.
Yes. Yes.
Like those kind of, like, literally, if you're smoking, stop smoking. Like that's how, right?
Right. Now this is for those who have Gemini rising and also Gemini sun and Gemini moon.
It can be very, you can apply to it. But mostly it depends, all these things that are,
I'm just trying to tell people so they can actually, if you know your rising, your moon, and your sun, so to make sure you cover the, and see which ones are hitting you. This one hit me pretty hard, and I don't have a Gemini rising. I have a Gemini sun, but she stomped all over my chart. Okay.
So think about, so this is very important. News about your health. If something, like when I see something like very volatile, very shocking news, always, if you think regarding your health, I'm not a doctor, but when I see something like that in that house, if you have any concerns,
go see a doctor. Go see a
doctor, specialist, or whoever you need to see,
a medical practitioner.
And just maybe it's time to get a naturopath or a holistic healer or something. Maybe you want to implement just something like that. So because Scorpio is esoteric, but Scorpio is esoteric kind of a sign. So if you want to go to some alternative, things that you want to implement, it's a good, because it's a new moon after all. So maybe you want to think about that.
Because I find being that I'm an energy worker and an energy medicine practitioner, I do find that the incorporating and combining the allopathic and the energy works well together. But go to the doctor first.
Yes.
Then let me know what you're dealing with, and let's see and get that underway, under control, and then I can support you in other ways too. So supporting the P, because the doctors allopathic typically support the physical. Not so much the emotional or the medicine or the mental or the spiritual, but they still work the physical. I mean, the container. The container has to be solid.
The preventive medicine should be holistic.
Yes.
Before you even need a doctor, you should go and have everything, kind of in order, right? Because doctor comes, if you need a surgery, if you can avoid it or something like that. But if you have, if you can help yourself and work on your preventive health, move, exercise, eat healthier. I'm not saying I still love my sweets. I admit it. It's not, it is what it is. But, if it's in moderation. Also, I heard this one, and when I was young, and I always have it in my head. It's old English proverb: all things in moderation, moderation in all things.
Yes, absolutely.
And I love that. I love that one, like just in general for life.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Cancer risings, the 5th house. 5th house is about, this is something can be about your kids if you have kids, or something. If you're, for example, I know that partnerships are 7th house, but those are like partnerships that we are in relationship with. All these other type of dating or
friendships,
or relationships. Dating or some kind of involvement that are not serious. So like casual dates,
I see.
or having just friends with benefits, as they say, or something. So that's a fifth house person. So if you're involved in, if you're just dating, or if there's something that it's not serious in that sense,
That's
that
fun.
this so this comes to this house, and so that means for Cancer rising, this is going to be very regarding that. If you have, maybe you hear that the person you're dating is married, stuff like that. So it can be very shocking because it's Pluto in Scorpio involved. So on a bad side, right? Or it can be something with your kids, or something that it can be something for your hobbies. So if you're doing something and then you figure out that this is not for you or something, but it's a good thing to start actually doing a new hobby, or thinking, what is my creative part of me? How can I creatively express myself? What can I do? How can I have fun? How can I find joy? I know it's a Scorpio house, but there's joy even for Scorpios in some way.
No, but this makes sense because the fifth house, children, it is the creativity, working with children. So, and that's a very good point here, because I know with me, I need to, when I get two in my head and too intense, because I think I have Leo and Scorpio, so I get really, it's like, oof, I get really, fired in that area. So I know I need to do things silly like,
what do you mean Jupiter? What do you mean Leo? What's Scorpio?
Jupiter,
not Leo,
what I have Scorpio. It's so funny. Hold on a minute. You know my chart better than I do, probably, but
I can't remember what you have in Scorpio, to be honest. I know your moon, that stuff,
Scorpio, that I didn't realize I wasn't paying attention, and I have some in the 8th house, no less, in the 8th house. So I said, oh, I need some outlets that keep me out of my intensity.
Okay, we'll find what you have.
Yeah, let's keep on
going. We'll find what you have.
Yeah.
But anyway, so think about on the other. Don't get involved in any fighting with your kids, or fighting with these type of relationship, like not relationship, but those kind of engagements, let's say.
Very nice.
So that's for Cancer risings.
Okay.
For Leo risings, this is happening in their 4th house. So as I mentioned, all the fixed signs are going to be more. They're going to feel this more as a Taurus partners, Leo's family and home and heritage and ancestry, or what is happening. So this can be, it could be literally something happening with your home physically. Something Pluto Mars. I don't know. It can be, or it can be just because in the 4th house your parents come here as well. So you might hear something from your parents, or there is something you need to go back and face, some childhood things that you don't want to face. So that can be really hard, right? Because if you had some issues from your childhood that you are suppressing and you don't want to deal with them, this may be the situation that you have to kind of, or you can just plant a seed. What kind of home? What would be your ideal home? How would you change? Right? What would you do differently than your parents did? How you wanna how would you transform your home? How do you want to transform your home, your living situation? You can. It could be.
Could this also cause a change in your living situation in your home?
It can. But I would say it's more about renovation and reconstruction, like literally maybe
renovation and reconstruction.
Because it's Mars and Pluto, and it's like explosive. So maybe you just want to tear some wall down and make two rooms into one or something. I think it's more of that kind of a.
Gotcha. Got it. Okay.
That's kind of a feeling that I have with this energy. Like, oh, I want to tear this wall down, and I want to,
makes sense.
the imaginary restaurant. Yeah. So in that sense,
you say imaginary restaurant.
Yes. Hi. Yeah, I know her from Celeste. I know her from Celeste. So in that, so that would be the 4th house. So think about how your what your future would look like, what your ideal home would look like, what do you want to transform in the way you live now, and what do you want to make it better in both sense, okay?
Yes.
So there can be some also, there's Uranus and Mercury, some news, some shocking news. Like my husband has this placement, and I know he just heard the news that his aunt had a stroke, but not very hard, but a mild one.
Okay.
But still, so those kind of things, right? It's not a immediate family, but it's still kind of a close enough.
Still alarming, concerning.
Yeah, you can hear some of those things, right? So anyway, but don't get into fight with family members. That's the number one. That is the key. That's the key thing. Okay, step aside. As I said, count to 3. Virgo rising. This is happening in your 3rd house, which is actually great because actually it's great in one way because you can use this energy to start doing something, writing or some kind of writing or journal to help you with your anxiety. I feel that Virgo risings might be more anxious than others, just because we have this Mercury and Uranus opposition at the time, and so they're going to be more nervous, more anxious about many things. So when this is happening in the 3rd house is the way we communicate, the way we process our ideas, the way we process our thoughts. So putting them down, because Virgo likes to do list, Virgo likes to make order. So the way to calm your nerves and your anxiety, and with this Pluto it can be very intense. So like you won't be not being able to escape from this worry, constant worry of, oh my God, what's going to happen? Try to write it down, like literally. Or connect with your siblings, your cousins. So 3rd house is also about distant relatives, like your cousins, your aunts, uncles. Yes, that's the 3rd house.
But now,
so maybe you want to...
Is the 3rd house also your local neighborhood or neighbors?
Yes, a local neighborhood. So you can connect with local neighbors, or you can connect with the cousins, and maybe they can help you, because you might hear some news about them, and you might hear what is happening. And it's interesting. I'm Virgo rising, and just this morning it was sirens and fire trucks and everything. It woke us up, like what happened? And just around the corner, one of the flats burned, like just literally like 2 houses away.
Wow.
That's Mars Pluto also, destroying. So it happened in my neighborhood. I'm Virgo rising. So it might not concern you particularly. So, it's not all about us, but it can be in my neighborhood. It literally happened in my neighborhood. So things like that, right? So you might hear some news, shocking news, like this was a shocking news, Mercury opposing Uranus, right? So and
yeah. It's so interesting you mentioned about writing a list. Maybe I got this from my mother. I write lists. Even my younger sister, who's joined us, we write lists. I mean, we have lists. We'll be if once we clean our homes when we die, you'll see lists back from. We keep lists. We make lists constantly.
But that's very important. Like for me, just make a list, and then not just making the list, but crossing the
crossing
things
it out.
And that sense of accomplishment, it gives you some kind of. And do it physically. I know my husband always has everything online and digital.
I need to write my list down. I need to write my stuff down.
Yes, I tell everybody, it's different. It's more personal. It's more satisfying. It's more releasing when you actually write it down. And find nice pens. Guys, find nice pens. I have a recommendation. This is Japanese pens. I'm gonna write it down in the comments.
Please, because when you were here, I had some pens I wanted to give you, because you commented on a pen I had, and I said, oh, I could have given you some because I love good pens.
No, that was beautiful pen, the one that you wrote. But I'm gonna find the brand of mine, and I have many colors. Like I have 10 different colors, and they're beautiful. I'm gonna write in the comment when you save, because it's very important.
Please put in the comments in order. Is it 5 points or is it medium point?
No, I have 0.5 and 0.3, 0.5, 0.7.
0.7 is medium. I like medium point. Okay, but I
have 0.5, 0.7. I think they have both.
So put it in the thing for us. Even later on, just put it in comments so we can all find it. Because I love a good writing utensil. A good writing
No,
utensil.
it's so nice. So that's that's Virgo. That's your third house. Find nice pen and do something.
Yes.
So lots of things can come up in a everyday conversations with people in the neighborhood about some maybe people will confide in you. It's Scorpio,
Yes.
right? Maybe they will tell you their traumas, and you have to kind of then you're gonna have anxiety because they're sharing things with you.
That's what
So
happened. Yes. Right.
find
Yes.
an
Absolutely.
outlet.
Find an
Find
outlet.
a nice pen, nice journal,
Nice
and then
paper, and
yes,
it's
nice
just a
paper.
joy to write
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
Yes.
yes. Oh, and absolutely things like this, things that make me smile, fries, friends, Fridays, all of the above.
Oh, I like that.
I always have
Me too.
and
Journals and different things,
this
please. Yes.
this one says live
Oh,
in the moment.
I like
Stuff like
that. Live in the moment.
anyway. Yeah, so I have like a bunch of those. Like I'm Virgo rising, so I'm telling you this. So because writing and just communicating or starting a blog, everything in the third house can be very transformative for you, right? Because it's in the
Someone
third
just wrote
house.
imaginary restaurant. Do the same thing. A friend, if you have a list, right, and then you do something that was on your list, you write it on your list and cross it out because
Yes,
I still want credit. I want credit for it.
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Even if it wasn't on the list and you still did it, go back, write it down, and cross.
I want
Absolutely,
credit for
I
that.
love.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, that's too
Okay.
funny. Okay, now
I
back
know.
to
Libra rising. This is happening in your second house. So there's a lot of things about your money, your assets, your possession, your physical, your value system. Also, second house is about skills and talents, hidden skills and talents. So think about you finding out your hidden talent that you didn't know that you had.
okay.
This is Scorpio. This is, as I said, many hidden news revelations will come up. So think about what what skills can you develop that you didn't know, something that you want to explore to maybe that skill can make you money.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine
Mm-hmm.
you learn some kind of software program or you learn to code or something and then you get a job or something and you make money with it.
Right.
Or you learn how stuff like that. So think about that. Something that can transform your
Oh,
finances, okay?
okay.
Uh, yeah. So that's on a good side. On a bad side, you can also um, think about things that Scorpio spends money on. I always say spy equipment. I'm kidding,
Mm-hmm.
because they're the great spies. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, good
Uh,
tech. I mean, probably good tech, or maybe would it be? No, wouldn't be
no,
gems or
no, no,
jewels.
no.
No.
No, no, no. It wouldn't be. But I'm thinking. So Scorpios, Scorpio is also about sex. I didn't want to
Right.
mention this now, but
Yes.
but
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
very because intimacy is very important for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, back to Libra risings. This is happening in second house. So I would set intentions on how to binoculars. That's a funny one. Binoculars so they can
Binocular. Yep.
spy on
Of
others.
course.
No, but a set intention. So how can you maybe make more money? But this energy is because it's very explosive. Mars and Pluto are involved. You might just go and spend too much money as well because you're going to be frustrated or angry, and then you go and you know how people spend money when they feel down and just
Yeah.
go and then buy
Yeah.
something nice for
Shopping
themselves.
therapy. Shop therapy.
Shop
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
shop therapy, and because Libra risings like to look beautiful because they're Libra risings, they might just be because of some kind of frustration or anger. They just might and spend too much money. So
Mm-hmm.
just be careful about that and think how can you what set intentions on what new skills and talents you can start
I was getting Carol. I'm gonna ask.
developing
Yes.
to make more money or to whatever, right? It's also about your value system. What are you
Yes.
valuing?
What's
Okay,
it
tell
doing?
me.
Good
Ask me.
question. Someone's writing in, and I don't have it in my notes. What house was the Aries rising in? She missed it. What was the house?
Eighth house. Eighth house.
Eighth house.
Yes,
Okay.
eighth house.
Okay. You got that Carol Kelly,
Yeah.
Carol Kelly. Yes, eighth house. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you can go re-listen what we talked
Okay.
about eighth house. So that's for Libra rising. So just spend, watch out on your spending, especially Venus is opposing Jupiter. Venus is ruler of your chart, of you, because Libra risings, and because it's opposing Jupiter. So when Venus likes to spend things on luxury things, she likes pleasure. She likes pleasures. She likes luxury. She likes to spend money on things she wants, not needs. And when Jupiter is involved, you can enlarge it, make it bigger.
Yes.
So
this
can
be
expanded, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And then Venus is currently in Sagittarius. She likes fun. Venus, so Venus is Sagittarius, really likes fun. So she just wants to go out, travel. You can just go online and book holidays, and then you're gonna go, oh no, stuff like that. So so just be careful.
Okay. Gotcha.
Libra risings. Venus. Everybody who has Libra, I think you have Libra moon, right? Libra moons, rising and sun and suns. Currently, Venus is in Sagittarius, and you all might feel more that on a free side, that you want to explore more and just be more free and less restrictions, and just, I don't like this Scorpio, this dark. I just want to have fun, enjoy. So because Venus is in Sagittarius, it gives that flavor. See, she's going on vacation. I've been trying. I'm telling you.
Have a good time. On Halloween, no less. Have a good time measuring.
Yes, I love it. But it's before the Mercury retrograde. But anyway, that's another story.
Before the shadow, even. Excellent.
Okay, so now Scorpios, this is your new moon. So once in a year, although it's very intense, I think Scorpios might have benefits from it because it's in their first house. So every once in a year, when you have when the new moon is in your sign, it's very good because it's kind of homey. It's about you.
Yeah.
It's about first house is about your body. It's about your physical appearance. It's about who you are, what you want to do, how you go in the world. So it's all about you. Okay. So use this new moon to, although it can be intense, it can bring some shadow work, it can bring some stuff you're traumatic and you don't want to deal with. Use this energy to transform you, new you. This is like a great opportunity, especially because with this Mars and Pluto, it will give you some kind of empowerment. If you use it in a healthy way, it can really empower you, not destroy you, to become a new version of you. Okay, whatever that is for you. On a bad note, it can really you can go really in a dark place and get obsessed or get jealous or get into some kind of power struggles. It's Pluto and Mars. A crisis, and you can develop crisis for no reason. Think about yourself. It's time to be selfish, Scorpio rising.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. That's what I would suggest. Sagittarius, it's in the 12th house. That's very hard. Are you still here? I think I'm losing you. I hope I don't lose you. Sagittarius risings into the 12th house. It can be very psychologically. Oh, are you here?
Yeah. I had to. My phone was going dead. Okay. I'm back.
Okay. I thought I lost you. So Sag risings this is the 12th house. It can be very psychologically hard, this new moon, because it's going to happen in a hidden house. 12th house is a house of hidden things, hidden enemies. So you maybe some hidden enemy will be revealed, or there may be some things that you don't really want to deal with, or it's a lonely house.
Yeah, it is.
But it's absolutely a great opportunity because Sag rising, Sagittarius is all about belief system, about their philosophies and beliefs. So combine that with your spirituality.
Right.
Find a new transform maybe your belief system. Maybe you need to transform it. Maybe you need to. Maybe you need to change some things. Maybe you need to destroy what you believe in now and start over. Maybe what you believe. Maybe information that comes up and reveals. Remember Uranus, Mercury, shocking information, Pluto, Scorpio, hidden things. A lot of things can happen. Maybe they can really, maybe they can put your mind at ease. But for Sagittarius risings, use this energy. to to face, because Sagittarius can be very dogmatic in a sense. My truth, my beliefs are the only way. So maybe it's time to open your mind and maybe, you know, see other point of view and reflect on it in the 12th house. Okay, I would suggest that.
Got it.
On a bad note, you know, there might be some situation, some, you know, some news that you might, you know, stuff that you might not, you can't reach. It's not available for you right now. You know, maybe you know, that's what 12 houses, like it's not available for you when you need it. Kind of a feeling, right?
Right, it is. Yep.
You can access it, right? So maybe try another way to do it, or just reflect on it.
Right.
Okay, to see how you can use this energy in a better way.
Yeah. And this is a time to those of you who have good meditation or practices or ways to interact with your guides, to ask them to help you to understand what you need to, how you can better use this energy and transform, because oftentimes it's so deeply buried that we don't have conscious access to it. So we need help.
Absolutely.
To
Absolutely.
engage with it at the level, and trust me, you'll only engage at the level that you're able to engage with it at. So it won't be too much, but you know, it's good, and it's okay to ask for help. That's what our guides and angels and better angels are for.
Yeah, even finding a therapist or finding someone you can talk to, maybe.
Yes.
Or even, as you mentioned, even finding an astrologer or anybody who has spiritual. Yes, right. So that's very important.
Help me, yeah.
Yeah. Capricorn risings, because Pluto is hanging out of your things, but this is happening. Yeah. So this is happening. Yeah. So this is happening in your. Oh yeah, you have Saturn in your 11th house in Scorpio. Now I remember. You have Saturn in Scorpio in the 11th house, I think, because this is happening in the 11th house of friendships, I think.
I do have Saturn. I can't hate people know my house better. Saturn
I don't
in
know.
the 11th house. Yes.
Do you? I think you have
Sagittarius.
But it's still in Sagittarius. Yeah, in the quadrant system. Yeah, but I knew it was 11. Okay, anyway. So this is this new moon is in 11th house, and so think about, this can be really gossipy. Like, think about news from your friends, your groups, your communities, or somebody. It's over.
This is the T.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, so think about also, this is a house of charities, humanitarians, volunteering. Yes. So maybe you want to set intention, or when you help your community by volunteering somewhere on a positive note, or giving some money to charity, or your time. If you don't have money, volunteer your time. I think that might be very helpful to transform how you give back. How you give back to community.
Got it.
On a negative note, this is about your friends. This is about your groups that you are involved with. It's a social network. It's networking online, and you might find some issues with fighting with those people, or hearing some not nice news about them, some hidden things, maybe some gossip, maybe somebody didn't talk about you in a nice way. Like there's a bunch of friendship situations.
I actually have just recently, and it set me back with someone who I spent time with, helping out through health issues and other issues, and then got a revelation, and I was like, wow.
See, I mean, I'm sorry to hear that, because it can hurt. This energy can hurt with Scorpio.
This one really set me up. I'm like, it's not only because I haven't been there before, but I'm like, I'm almost 70. People are still, and this person is a little bit older than me, and it was almost close to once I heard, I realized it was an abusive situation. I was being misused. I was being misused and abused.
That's exactly Pluto Mars. That's exactly Pluto Mars. That's exactly Pluto Mars. That's one of the manifestations.
This is Friday. Floored. It took me a while to actually. So then only because you hit on it. So I want to give you an example that you're never too old or never too whatever to experience this, and you're like, wow. And now let me just also share this. I sort of knew it or sensed it, but I would say, well, no, that person can't be like that. Yeah. They would be like
Neptune. That's Neptune. Denial. That's what I see. What I mentioned in the beginning, that Neptune might put us into denial in this situation to get through these things. And see how the energy, guys, see how energies are already coming up. The new moon is on Friday, but we feel it even a week before
Yes.
because it's upcoming, because it's growing, it's implying.
Yes.
So we feel, we have all examples already happening, like my husband, I, and you, just you know. So
Yes. This was a major blow
yeah,
to me. Not a major blow, but took the wind out of my sail. It was a
yeah.
I'm thankful because it was an aha or an epiphany, and I've grown.
Uranus, there you go. Uranus, Mercury, news, unexpected shock news. This is
Yes.
exactly in that area.
Wow.
And it was awakening, aha moment. That's what Uranus
It
does.
was
And Uranus is
major.
opposing,
Major.
yes.
And this was I was actually having a session with my healer, and he said, "Oh, he said you have anything to ask me, or do you want me to just look around?" I said, "No, you look around." And boom. And I said, I couldn't believe it was so on point. And then I had been going through that, and I realized, this is all shit because the person will never, even I don't care if the person sees it, but I was happy that person was going away because I felt like, to have them out of my energetic sphere.
Yes. So that's literally what it is, a death of a friendship,
Yes.
but then you have space for a new one. So you can set intentions. What kind of friendships do you want?
Yes.
What kind of friends do you want in your life? What kind of people you want to hang out with every day?
Yes.
What kind of groups you want to be? That's the
Yeah.
intention.
Yeah. And that's
You
what I
know,
realized. That's the benefit of the gift for this is to say, yes, this wasn't good, but now you're aware of it. Now, what do you want to? You deal with that, and now what can I actually
yeah.
intentionally welcome into my life once I let that go and surrender that to
Exactly. But you need to make space with Pluto. When Pluto hits, or when Pluto is
Pluto's
active, you need to,
brutal.
yes, he's brutal, but he makes space. Otherwise, there's no
There's
space.
no
Where you gonna,
space.
how you gonna fit in everything? He's saying, look, you have to remove to make space for new.
Absolutely.
But in a brutal way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
Oh no, it was
anyway,
good, but that's the way you get it. Though
yeah,
you have to get. Sometimes I had to be
yeah,
hit over the head
yeah,
in order to get certain
yeah, yeah,
things,
yeah.
and but it really was. It took my breath away. I was like, wow. Because you don't,
Right.
once you get to a certain stage in life, you figure, no, people won't be that way. No. And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, it could still, humans are
Anyway,
humans. Humans are humans.
humans are humans.
And we're all
Okay,
learning.
let's
And
go.
that was, for me, it was a lesson that the universe said, we need you to learn this and
Yes.
get this.
That's everything. When I feel something, when I go, when I have dark thoughts, because you always go, oh, this, you go that way. Then I think,
Yes.
why am I having this?
Yeah.
What do I need to learn?
Right.
Like always, I was,
Oh,
trying to think about that.
oh,
Okay, two more because I have
yes.
to go soon.
Go
So
ahead.
two more.
Go ahead.
Aquarius risings. This is happening in your career. This can be a lot of power struggles with your
Oh,
superiors, your managers. This can be, don't get into fight with your superiors at work. Even if you feel manipulation, lies,
right.
hidden news, maybe you find out something, about something, or
Yeah.
you might be also falsely accused. Think about
Oh,
Uranus and Mercury
mm-hmm.
opposition, shocking news.
Yes.
Jupiter is over the top,
Right.
lies, fake news. So in the worst case scenario, you can be falsely accused of something, and then it's in a scorpionic way. Then vengeance, revenge. You can see lots of manipulation at workplace. Try to stay calm. Don't react. Sleep on it. And then react later. Okay.
Gotcha.
On a positive way, this can be opportunity for a new job opportunity. The way you present yourself in a outer world. The way Steve Jobs always says how you promote yourself, how you advertise yourself, how you market yourself. This is the 10th house. So this is a opportunity maybe to transform, rebrand yourself.
Absolutely.
Your old one dies and a new person. So it's actually a set intention how to you rebrand yourself. If you have a website, if you do some kind of your business, if you want to maybe you want to rebrand totally and try something new. It can be very very good in that sense, but it's in an active house, so it's going to be visible to everybody. Whatever is happening for Aquarius rising, it's going to be visible to everybody. It's out there. So you will know, everybody will know that it's happening to you. And for the end, it's Pisces. It's happening in their 9th house. This can be, we always say it's about belief system, religion, long distance travel. It's about your also philosophies, but it can be also about your mentors and teachers, because especially if you're going for PhD or if you're going for master's degree, or if you have this higher education, if you are in that state of your life, or if you're taking, even if you're taking courses and you have your teachers or somebody or mentors or somebody you look up for,
Right.
there may be some revelations that you don't like, or some fights, or some disappointments, because Neptune is involved, remember, in this grand trine, and you will feel like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Remember, because Pisces, you idolize things, so you can idolize your God, you can idolize your teacher, you can idolize your mentor, and then all of a sudden everything falls down like a reality check. Like, who is this person? You know, I can't believe this person is like that. Somebody you look up to, your idols, right? You're somebody you really look up to.
Yeah.
They can disappoint you. You feel, or you might get into fights, or you know. Also, if you are traveling at the moment, far away from where you live, you can fight with people there, or with foreigners, or online. So think about that as well. So there's a lot of tensions.
That's right. That would be
News.
that. Yes. Okay.
Or shocking news, just discovering something, it can be very, very shocking for you as well, right? On a positive note, set intentions. Like, try to ground them a little bit. How can you transform your life, about your philosophies, about your spirituality, about how you practice it. What do you do? Who do you follow, and why? Are you blindly following somebody? Are you consciously following somebody? Right?
Yes.
You can transform that, because with Pisces, because they are very out there, they're just very gullible in a sense, right? So that should be very, very helpful in that way, to set intentions. Maybe if you want to go to some kind of spiritual retreat somewhere far away, or India, Bali, or whatever, that's a good set intention, right? Where you can get your spirituality back on your feet. Yeah, it can be, I hope that everything goes okay.
Of course, correction.
Yes. If you're dealing with import, export, with foreigners, maybe if you work in a company, or you have a company like that, maybe you're going to have problem with foreign clients, because it's foreigners.
Yes.
So, so just, make sure that, think about lies, manipulations, jealousy, think about obsession, a bunch of other stuff. On the other side, think about starting from scratch, from new, Anyway, that's for Pisces in the ninth house.
Well, that's it. So thank you so much for this, Jasmine. This is excellent. This is something for everyone to sort of like chew on and marinate in, and such a good timing, because it's in advance of the new moon, so we have time to review it and see what things resonate and so on, so and work with the setting intentions and blessing and releasing things that no longer serve, that we're seeing that happening. And not seeing it as a pox against you. Just see it as the universe saying, you got the lesson, and you say, yes, I got it, and then work with the universe to co-create for a new experience that's more suitable for you.
Keep your cools, guys. Keep your cools.
Yes.
Double check everything you hear. False information, shocking news. Double check what's happening. Be little investigators. Scorpio likes to research and investigate.
Scorpio's a very good investigator.
So make sure that you go deeper. Don't be superficial. Don't just, I heard this on this.
Yeah.
Like, don't scroll and say, look, that's no. Don't just scroll. Go deeper. Find different sources of information before you make decisions.
Yeah.
And I would avoid making any decisions, because this grand trine, Neptune is involved. Take your time. Sit on the information. Don't react, and then it will be time to go forward later on.
This is fabulous, Jasmine. Thank you. And I know I'm seeing everyone. So have a good week, everyone. Have a happy Halloween, everyone, and we'll be coming again soon together. And stay touched.
Yeah. So use this energy for Halloween to trick somebody as a prank, not in a real life. Okay.
Right.
That would be my last thought. Thank you so much for having me again. See you soon for a full moon.
Yes.
And thanks, everybody.
Okay, bye. Everyone, stay safe.
And make me a collaborator, so he's going to be on my wall as well.
Will. Okay, good.
Okay, bye.
Right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Let's see now. Now I got to make a collaborator.